Hey everyone, this is Jade. I wanted to do a flip through for January 2017 of my Fauxbonichi. Quickly, I'll explain what it is. It's kind of, I wouldn't exactly call it an art journal, but a creative style way of journaling. It's actually called Hobonichi, and it originated in Japan, I believe. But since the Hobonichis in Japan are very expensive and, not as available here in the States, they came up with their own thing called a Fauxbonichi. And you can use several different styles of planners or books or whatever. Most people, and I have decided to use I'm really not exactly sure how to say the name, but it's the Miguel Reyes Graph notebook from Barnes and Noble. I think it's usually like $9.95. And if you have like a 15% off coupon, it's even a little less than that. So that's what I did, except for the covers of that journal is a little flimsy. So I don't really like flimsy journal covers. So what I did was cut the paper out of it and make my own text block and covered it myself with my own chipboard covers. This paper I got from the paper source. I saw somebody else cover their journal with this paper, and I think that's why I really love it. It has all the colors I love, purple, and I'm really into like this mint aqua color here. I wasn't going to ever get this paper because it was a paper from the paper source, and I didn't want to pay for shipping and all that kind of stuff. But one actually moved moved in a town over from me, so I was like, oh, perfect. So anyway, that's what I did. I covered it with my own paper, and this paper is actually kind of slightly, like I would say, material, so you can see the edges are getting a little fuzzy. So I think I'm going to end up covering it with contact paper or something. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I do for each month is make a little calendar. I hand draw the calendar, and these little numbers are the Heidi Swap planner sticker numbers. They're clear, they have black lettering, and then I just draw the month over here. I actually usually stamp 2017 up here in this area and forgot. Here I write in Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, blah blah blah, Saturday. I think I wrote these with these fine tip Sharpie markers, which are okay, but I think that it would do better if I actually got the thicker tip ones. And anybody out there, if you're watching this, if you know of a writing product that has varying colors, that writes well on washi tape, please leave that information below. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I do. The first day, usually the first day of each month is dedicated to my bookshelf. So what I'll do is draw a bookshelf and draw all the books that I completed the month before on that bookshelf. But I've been reading the Outlander series, and it usually only takes me, for those, they're really, really thick, mostly it would take 2 weeks for me to read. But I've been involved doing a whole lot of other projects and stuff, so it's taking me a lot longer. So that month I had only completed Voyager on that day. The next few pages were dedicated to my 2017 vision board, and I covered them up just because I don't like to put everything like that out in the open for everybody to see. But I, left enough so you can kind of get an idea, and to see like the titles of my notebook and stuff. So, that's what the next couple pages are, and then we get over here, and And this day I just did, it was a tutorial day, I called it, where I filmed my first tutorial on how to make these little pockets. Because I usually use them for my Fauxbonichi to stick little notes and stuff that my mom or my nephew might leave me for whatever reason. So I just stick those right in those little pockets because I like to keep those to remember them. Here Tuesday, I honestly don't even remember what happened this day. I must have been not feeling good, and so I'll probably just end up like adding a quote or some kind of project life card or something there just to fill the space. This day I was making shaker cards, and they turned out pretty cute. I don't know if you can see. That's what they look like by this picture. I will say that next time, though, I should probably use foam tape around it to give it more room to actually do the shaking. And the next day, I actually was making some shaker clips, and one in particular, a diamond clip, to include in a thank you flip book that I had made for my mom's old boss's daughter. But anyway, she sends me like those cute My Mind's Eye paper pads because she knows I like to craft sometimes. So I wanted to send her a thank you flip book with some little goodies and stuff. So I made that for her. That's what I was doing this day. The next day we actually met with my mom's old boss. I was out shopping pretty much the whole day, and then we ended up meeting her around 3 something. And I gave the flip book to her to give to her daughter, who is actually somewhere, and she's in another country now. So yeah, and then she also was letting me know about different options because I have sickle cell. So she's a hematologist. She was letting me know about different options of new things coming up that might be cures for sickle cell and yada yada yada. So on this day also, I went out to do a little craft shopping. I went to a Joann's that carries these Heidi Swap dies. The only one I didn't have was the Happy die, so I ended up picking that one up. And I also went to Michael's and used, I think it was Michael's, a 60% off coupon and got this dimensional heart punch. So also the Easy Spirit in our area at the Tanger outlets was going out of business, so me and my mom stopped by to see if there was anything worth buying, and it was pretty much cleaned out. So and also I didn't mention this in the beginning, but how I like to set up my pages is to have the date up here. So this would be the Friday the 13th, right? In January, it was a Friday, and I put the actual day and month here. And here in this little space, I like to put what I'm reading and what page I was on for that day. So the next day, I did a magazine purge. I had a whole stack of magazines that I had collected and just had never taken the time to actually go through. So I just flipped through them all. I cut out little bits and pieces that I might want to keep to journal with, or, you know, use in my vision boarding or whatever. And then I took the rest of them to be recycled. Took what was left out to recycle. And my nephew came over later and we played a little Mario Kart. It was his first time playing, so he was like uber excited and yelling and screaming, and it was hilarious. So and the next night, he spent the night. Till the next morning, we went to the paper source together because he likes my little journal or whatever. He has his own, and his cover is actually messed up, and I told him if he wanted me to, I would make him his own cover like I did mine, but that he could pick out his own paper. He said, sure, Auntie, let's do that. He's 7. He's so cute, guys. And so we went to the paper source early that morning so he could pick out his paper. And then afterwards, I just kind of ran around looking for this acne kit because my face is out of control ever since I've gotten kidney failure, and it just upsets me. So anyway, The next day was my birthday. It was a good birthday, and my nephew and brother came over, and we FaceTime my sister, my mom. My mom is here, and I got some great gifts. I had a good time hanging out with my nephew, and actually earlier that morning I went and had gotten my hair done. So it was a good day. Had a good time. It was a good birthday. So the next day, me and my mom went out and I got a few clothes. I've been needing a new pair of sneakers for a while now, and I've been wearing the same pair for like 5 or 6 years. That's what I do, because I mean, I take care of my sneakers so they don't look like they're an old pair of sneakers, but it was really time to just bite the bullet, and I'm cheap too, guys, and get me a new pair of sneakers. So those were the sneakers I bought. I don't know if you can see those. And then also when I got back home, I had bought a couple sweaters too, but I went through my closet and tried on everything and just threw everything out. I didn't throw it out, but I set it aside in a trash bag for our next yard sale, which won't be probably to spring or summer, to sell, and just did a complete closet purge. It was time to just hold on to stuff that I wasn't gonna fit into probably ever again. So the next day I was working on some Valentine craft projects. So I did a couple Valentine arrows, and I did some paper clips, and I did some of those crepe paper rosettes. I don't know if you can see in the picture, those are what I was working on there. And I actually did a project share on YouTube as well, if you're interested in seeing what those were. Here, for my birthday, this is my favorite present. My nephew gave me a card, and in it was a gift certificate to a restaurant, and he said this card is good for one date night with me. So it was our date night. I told him to let me know when he wanted to go. So he emailed me, guys. 7 years old. He emails me in the morning before he goes to school and says tonight is the night. So this was the night we went out on our date. We went to Chili's, and he wanted to dress up and everything, and he put his little dress shirt on and his bow tie. So I dressed up as well. And here is just a quick little picture of him and I. And then we went to Chili's, so I printed out the receipt and stuck this in one of my little pockets as well to remember everything. So that was fun. The next day was the Women's March, and I hadn't been feeling good, so I wasn't able to participate. But my sister, she lives in the DC area, so she was out there in full force with all of her friends. It was amazing. I mean, people protested and marched around the world, and I love to see the footage of it on TV, and all the pictures and all the signs and the camaraderie and the speeches. It was awesome. So I just wanted to commemorate that in my journal. The next day I went to Michael's because they had the Valentine's stuff. I can't even remember. It was like some percentage off, and then there was like an extra 20% off. So I went to pick up some more supplies, washi tape and paper and things like that. So it was a good day, and I went around to a few different Michael's, you know, because some may have been sold out of a certain thing or whatever. So the next day I went on a day trip to Burlington, and me and my mom had been looking for this You Are Curly hair products, and they said that they were actually now selling them in the dollar store. Go figure. So I decided to check that huge dollar store that is up in Burlington and see. And they actually had it, so I got some. It was like sample packs, but they had it. And later I came back and did a little video editing for my YouTube channel. The next day, this day I had gotten a card from my aunt for my birthday. It was a little late, Thank you, Aunt Rain, though. I appreciate it. I know you got a lot going on. And so the next day I just got up and deposited that in the bank. And I did as journaling pretty much the rest of the day. So I just was watching YouTube videos and doing my journaling, trying to catch up on stuff. You know, getting titles filled in and colored in and all that kind of stuff. So the next day, me and my mom were having a few technical difficulties. Well, mainly her that I had to fix. She had bought herself a new Fire Stick, so I was trying to jailbreak it and get it all set up. And then she was trying to print something, and the printer wouldn't work from her computer. It was just a mess. So I also finally got my Doki book after waiting over a month in the mail. I didn't open it yet because I wanted to do an unboxing. But I was excited that it was actually finally here. So, and later that night, I started watching the New Edition story. It started the day before. So parts 1 and 2 are recorded. So I just watched both parts. And was able to fast forward through the commercials, which was great. And so far, I love it, guys. I love it. And my favorite scene was the scene where they recorded "Can You Stand the Rain." I mean, that session was like magic. I can't even imagine how it was when they originally did it. So I loved it. The next day is when I filmed my the unboxing of the Love Doki book. And I also had made some Valentine's Day brag books. So I took a picture of that. Let's see if you can see those. I did a project share for those as well. And filmed that and put that up too. Next day, I finished a New Edition story. The 3rd part came on. And that is honestly one of the best biopics I've ever seen. So kudos, BET. New Edition, it was awesome. All the cast was great, spot on. The story was awesome. I've watched it several times since, so way to go. And while I was watching the New Edition story, again, I was catching up on all of my journaling and stuff. So that's what I pretty much did the day. The next day I went out to all the Tuesday mornings and pretty much overspent. Just got a whole lot of good stuff. But I definitely spent way too much money. Later on that night, my nephew came over to spend the night, and me, him, and my sister and my mom played Bikino for a little while. And then sometimes he and I like to watch movies together, and I was telling him about the New Edition story. He's like, Auntie, let's watch that. So we sat down and watched parts 1 and 2 of the New Edition story, and I'm trying to explain what the projects were to a 7-year-old. So you can imagine it was a little interesting, but he seemed to really enjoy it. So, and the next day, I had been trying to make some resin pieces with a heart mold that I had, and it sucked. It made them look very cloudy and like matte. It wasn't a good mold. So I was kind of on the hunt out looking for a good mold. I didn't actually end up finding one out at the stores, but I ended up finding one online. I'm sorry if you guys hear some yelling. That's actually, my windows are open, and that's actually my neighbor's kids next door. If you hear yelling, I'm not sure if you can or not, but I can hear it, and it's very annoying. But anyway, here is the mold I ended up buying here, which is what I have pictured here. And then I also, while I was out, I ended up going to the store and found the perfect pair of jeans, and it was on clearance at Marshall's, and it was only $10, which made it even perfecter. I know that's not a word, but you got me. So yeah, I was very happy with that shopping purchase. The next day, I was did a little haul. Was out mainly because Hobby Lobby had the not Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry. Tuesday morning had the Momenta dies that I had seen everybody hauling, and then I wanted to go and check for myself and see before they were all gone. So I ended up finding a few of those. I found some stamp sets. I found a lot of good stuff. So and I also found some clear boxes on clearance from Hobby Lobby. So that was a good trip out to the store. And lastly, I had made up my mind I was not going out to the stores on this day, and it's my mom's fault that I ended up at the store. She was at Home Goods and saw a mint green chair that would match my room perfectly. I had been looking for a mint leather desk chair for a long time. So I got that one from Home Goods. It didn't last, and I'll tell you what happened. It was a lovely chair, but when I sat down in it, the way it was made or stitched, it just kind of made, I just always felt pitched forward, like I was always about to fall out of it, and I just couldn't see paying like $80 for a chair that I always felt like I was gonna fall out of. So I ended up returning it, and just hope that I will find something similar that doesn't give me that feeling eventually. So, and then once I got back home, I kind of cleaned, well, when I bought the chair, I cleaned everything up in the area. Vacuumed my floor. I fixed my mat and anchored it so it wouldn't move around so much. I did a whole lot of stuff to ready my chair in there. So anyway, that's it for January. Next month, I think that I will just do split it in half. 15 days, so the video won't be so long. But since January was like the start of the month, I just went ahead and did everything here. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions or comments about my Fauxbonichi, what I do, my what I use, any materials I use or anything like that, leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye.